The first thing they noticed about her was how still she stood, not the stiff stillness of fear. The trained kind. The kind that comes from standing watch while the world keeps moving and you are the line it must not cross. The tomb was older than the city around it. White stone worn smooth by centuries of sun and dust. Names carved deep enough to survive empires. Tourists came in waves, selfies, whispers, laughter that didn't quite fit the place. Most guards faded into the background for them. Uniforms were scenery. Authority only mattered if it shouted. She didn't shout. She stood at the eastern gate, rifle resting but ready, eyes forward, chin level. Her uniform fit perfectly, not tailored for beauty, tailored for function. Hair pulled tight beneath her cap. No jewelry. No softness visible. Just presence. That was what caught their attention. Point four of them. Loud before they were close. The kind of men who took up space on purpose. They smelled like cheap cologne and confidence borrowed from each other. One of them nudged another and laughed. Yo, the tallest one said, slowing his walk. That a woman? The others snickered. Phones came out, not even pretending it wasn't for her. She didn't react. They stopped a few steps away, close enough to cross a line without technically crossing it. The shortest one leaned in, squinting at her face. Damn, he said. They letting anyone guard this place now? Another laughed. Bro, relax. She's probably just here for decoration. The tallest stepped closer. Too close. Hey, he said, waving a hand in front of her face. You even understand us? Or you just stand there all day looking tough? People nearby slowed, curiosity flickering. No one intervened. They never did at first. She finally turned her head, slowly. Deliberately, her eyes met his, not angry, not scared. Measuring. As if she were noting distance, weight, balance. As if she were calculating how many steps it would take for him to be a problem. This area is restricted, she said calmly. Step back. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. The men burst into laughter. Oh wow, one said. She talks. Say it again, another added. With more feeling. The tall one smirked. Relax, officer. We're just joking. Don't get emotional. That was when he reached out, just a finger, brushing the edge of her shoulder patch. A test. A dare. Everything changed. She moved, not fast like in the movies. Not flashy. Efficient. Her hand snapped up, trapping his wrist mid-air. His smirk didn't even fade before she twisted. Bone alignment shifted. Pressure applied in a way that turned confidence into panic instantly. He gasped. She stepped forward, inside his balance, her boot hooking behind his heel. A sharp push at the elbow and he went down hard, the sound of his body hitting stone echoing through the courtyard. Silence slammed down. The others froze, laughter stuck in their throats. She released him and stepped back into position, rifle still untouched. Last warning, she said, eyes forward again. Leave. The man on the ground groaned, clutching his wrist. His friends rushed to him, panic replacing bravado. What the hell is wrong with you? One shouted. You can't just... He stopped when he saw her eyes shift to him, not threatening. Final. They dragged their friend away, shouting over their shoulders about lawsuits and complaints and how this wasn't over. She didn't respond, but it wasn't over. They came back the next day and not together. Smarter this time. Two of them, clean shirts, forced smiles. One carried a camera openly now. Morning, the tall one, wrist-wrapped, pride wounded, said loudly. We're just here to enjoy the historic site. That okay with you? She watched them approach, already aware of the third man filming from a distance. Stay behind the barrier, she replied. They did. For 5 whole seconds, then the comments started. Loud enough for the camera. Careful enough to sound like jokes. Must be hard, one said, standing here all day. Bet you wish you had a real job. Or a man, the other added with a grin. She said nothing. They pushed closer to the rope. One foot crossed it, just barely. Oops, he said. My bad. She stepped forward. Instantly, the camera zoomed in. Hey, the tall one said quickly. Don't touch us. We know our rights. She stopped exactly 1 step away. You've crossed a restricted boundary, she said. Step back now. The shorter one scoffed. Or what? She exhaled and spoke into her radio. 3 short words. Calm. Precise. Security shifted across the courtyard. Other guards straightened. A supervisor turned his head. The men hesitated. You think you're scary because you've got backup, the tall one said, voice tighter now. She met his eyes again. No, she said. I think you're standing in a place where men like you have been buried for thousands of years. That wasn't in the script. The shorter one laughed nervously. Wow. Dramatic much. She took a small step forward. He stepped back without realizing it. You're not the first group to test this post, she continued. And you won't be the last. But every single one of you makes the same mistake. What mistake? The tall one snapped. You think this uniform is for show? Her supervisor arrived then. Older. Scarred. Silent. He didn't look at the men. He looked at her. She nodded once. That was all. The supervisor turned to them. You are done here, he said. Leave now. And if we don't, the tall one demanded, camera still rolling. The supervisor finally looked at him. Then you'll be removed, he said. On record. On camera. With witnesses. The men argued for a few more seconds, but the crowd had shifted. Phones were out now, and not theirs. Other people's. Different angles. Different stories. They left humiliated, but pride is loud when it's wounded. That night, a post went viral. A heavily edited clip. Laughing commentary. A title screaming about abuse of power and angry female guards. Comments flooded in, some defending her, many not. Threats. Insults. Questions about her qualifications. By morning, reporters were waiting outside the gates. She stood her post anyway. Same stillness. Same calm. A microphone was shoved toward her during a shift change. Do you think you overreacted? Someone asked. She didn't answer. Another voice. Do you believe women should be in combat roles? Still nothing. Her supervisor stepped in front of her. She is not required to explain herself, he said. She followed protocol. That should have been the end. It wasn't. A week later, during a crowded afternoon, the tallest one came back alone. No camera this time. He walked slowly. Carefully. Like someone approaching a wild animal they weren't sure would bite. He stopped at the barrier. They locked eyes. I just wanted to say, he began, then stopped. Swallowed. I didn't know. She said nothing. I thought, he exhaled sharply. I thought you were just standing there. She studied him for a long moment, then she spoke. Most people do. He nodded. Step back. Left without another word, the tomb stood silent as ever. She returned to her stillness and the world moved around her again, wiser in small, quiet ways it would never fully notice because the strongest warnings aren't shouted. They're posted.